Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Di, and today I'm sharing with you another diary entry. So for this diary entry, I don't think there's going to be a theme. Just with the things that I know that I have coming through soon on my library holds and things like that, there isn't really a theme on the types of things that I think I will be reading over the next couple of weeks. So we're just going to play it by ear and just do a mishmash of whatever I happen to get from my library holds or what I feel like reading. So maybe we'll just do a mood reading theme. I think that might work. But I have read a few things since I talked to you last. So let me share those with you now. I finished Wotakoi. So I read volumes 5 and 6. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. And these are by Fujita, published by Kodansha, rated older teen. So this is a kind of childhood friends to lovers story. We follow these two characters here who were really close when they were young, and then they meet up again in the professional world when she starts working at the same company as he does. And so they get to know each other a little bit better. She starts talking to him about the struggles she's having finding someone who accepts her for who she is, because she is an otaku. She creates doujinshi, and her friend here plays video games. So she feels like she can really talk to him about her struggles and he'll understand without looking down on her, I guess. Their supervisors at work actually also have interests that kind of align. So her supervisor cosplays, and his supervisor reads manga. And then you have these two characters here. This is his little brother and his little brother's love interest. And so I think he plays video games and she plays video games and reads manga. So we have this group of people that we're following, 6 people throughout the story, in their relationships and their like hobbies and things that they're doing for those hobbies, like getting ready for conventions and reading series that they really love and things like that. It's really fun to watch all of them like get together, because they do get together and spend time together talking about their interests and things, series that they're really into, maybe the costume that the female supervisor is like trying to put together for the upcoming convention, and maybe a problem that our female character here is having with trying to create her doujinshi for the upcoming market and things like that. I really enjoyed it, and so I ended up giving both of these volumes 4 stars. I think all of the volumes that I've read previously also got 4 stars. So this is a solid 4-star series for me. Really, really enjoyable. Kind of told in really short kind of snippets into their lives. And I just really enjoyed this journey. So I'm glad that I was able to finish this series with a solid, enjoyable feeling. And so, yeah, really happy to have finished another series. And then I also finished this volume. So this is actually an omnibus. This is A Sign of Affection by Morishita, published by Kodansha, rated older teen. So this contains volumes 1, 2, and 3, but I had already read volumes 1 and 2, so I only read volume 3. This is a story about a girl who is deaf, and she's finally kind of getting out on her own by going to college. And so she's riding the train to get to college on that first day, and someone comes up to her and starts asking her for directions on how to get somewhere, and she can't understand what they're saying because they're also speaking another language. And so she gets really flustered, and our male character here comes to her rescue, gives that person what they need to get to where they're going, and then starts a conversation with her, quickly realizing that she can't hear. And then over the course of the volumes, we see them getting to know each other, spending more time together, because of course he goes to the same college, and he's very much a person who enjoys learning languages, and so he knows, I think, 3 languages or so when we meet him. So he's really interested in learning sign language, and so we also see her teach him that along these volumes. I will say that when I read the first volume, which we did read for the Monochrome Manga Club, I will link my first impression video up in the cards so that you can see. I did not have a very favorable impression of our male character here. After that experience, I did go ahead and decide to watch the anime. And I will say that the anime definitely changed my mind on how I viewed the way he was speaking to our female character. And I ended up really, really enjoying watching the story in the animated form. So it made me want to go back and look at what I had read previously in a different lens. And I'm really, really enjoying it a lot more now that I have a different view on how he's actually delivering these lines, because I did feel like he was kind of condescending a little bit when he was speaking to her when I had read the first volume. Again, you can check my first impressions video for my initial impressions and thoughts on how he was saying things to our female character, but I am really enjoying this series now. I ended up giving volume 3 4 stars. I'm looking forward to continuing. So that's all of the manga that I read. I did finally finish another novel, and that is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. So this is the first book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. Everybody on booktube is reading this, I feel like. I didn't know if it was going to be for me, to be honest, because I don't usually enjoy a lot of books that are hyped. I tend to steer clear of it with a 10-foot pole. However, the mechanics of this story sounded very similar to some of the other series in manga and light novels that I have been reading lately. And I thought, that's probably going to work for me. And so we had put it on hold at the library. It got released to us in April. However, I was in the middle of a couple of different projects, and so my daughter ended up reading it. Now, I've talked about my daughter and her love of reading. Her not love of reading. I was being very sarcastic there. My daughter doesn't read novels very often. She will read manga. That's something that she will pick up, no problem, read through it, but she's not very interested in novels. However, she's heard other people on booktube that when I've watched those videos talk about the series, and I talked to her about it a little bit, and so she decided to go ahead and try it out, and she really, really enjoyed it. And so by the time she was done and then I was done, clearing my plate for the project that I was in the middle of, the book was due back at the library, and I could not reborrow it because obviously it's very popular, and so the line is super long. So I decided to go ahead and bite the bullet and pick up a copy. I did also go ahead and purchase the audiobook because I had heard amazing things about the audiobook, and I wasn't sure which version I would prefer to experience. So I did go ahead and decide to listen to the audiobook instead of read the copy that I bought. But I will say that I really, really enjoyed the narration. So this story, if you didn't know, is about a guy named Carl. And in the wee hours of the morning, his ex-girlfriend's cat jumps out the window. And normally he wouldn't care less. But he decides, you know what, I'm going to go get the cat because it is freezing temperatures outside. And so he just puts on like a leather jacket and his ex-girlfriend's Crocs, I think, and goes after the cat. And shortly after that, all the buildings like collapse. There's some kind of alien invasion. They get this like announcement saying that they're gonna mine the planet for minerals and resources and things, and there'll be some dungeons that open up that you can go into and basically fight for your life in. Or if you choose not to do that, and the dungeons are only going to be open for a little while, if you choose not to do that or you miss the openings of the dungeon, you can basically fare for yourself, and good luck to you, because the planet's being mined for minerals and resources and things. So he decides to go ahead and enter the dungeon for a couple different reasons. And so you pretty much follow him and his ex-girlfriend's cat, who's named Princess Donut, go through their experiences in the dungeons, the things that they have to go through in order to survive, learning things. And there's very much game mechanics. There's achievements that they earn and prizes and loot boxes. And all of this is also being televised to the different planets out there. And so it's like got to be entertaining also. So there's a little bit of a mechanic of the Hunger Games where they're trying to get sponsors to make their lives easier and things like that. It was really, really interesting. And I will say that the narration definitely helps out with those game mechanics, because you have like an announcer that comes on and announces all of the achievements and the loot boxes that they get, and the voice that the narrator does is just very entertaining. And so I'm definitely going to be continuing with this series. I'm probably going to continue to buy the audiobooks as well. Now, as far as the actual books go, though, like this is a regular paperback copy. It's like normal sized font. However, I don't think they've actually released the rest of the books in the series in paperback in normal font. Like there's like 6 or 7 of them out now, I think. 6 or 7, I don't remember how many, but they're all in hardback. And the only paperbacks I can find past the first one is in large print. So I'm gonna have to take a look and see like what the size of the actual book is, because if it's much bigger than this, I don't think I want to like collect that all of that without having a large print version of the first one, you know, just so that my copies all match. But I'm not sure, like I don't know why they haven't released the rest of these in regular size paperbacks. Not that I have any problem in reading a large print novel, but yeah, if I'm going to go large print, I'm going to have them all in large print. But yes, very, very excited to continue. We do have the second one already on hold from the library. And so whenever that gets released to us, my daughter is going to go ahead and read that, and then I will probably listen to the audiobook. So I ended up giving this one 4 stars. There were a couple of things like descriptions of women that I didn't quite enjoy, but the game mechanics were really fun, and all of the things that Carl had gone through. There were a couple of different things that he not only went through, but that have to do with the outfit that he's wearing in the dungeon. It was very funny, very entertaining. I really, really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to continuing it. So 4 stars, and looking forward to seeing what happens with Carl in the next installment. Oh, and Princess Donut. So that's everything that I've read so far. Like I said, I think this is just going to be a whatever vlog, whatever I decide to pick up. Just a mishmash of things. Normally in the month of May, I do try to focus on Asian or Pacific Islander stories, because it is Asian American Pacific Islander month. But I do read a lot of Asian stories, and I have been focusing a lot on them in the last few months. And so I think it might be okay if I don't focus the entire month on Asian stories. That being said, I do have quite a few things on hold from the library that are Asian stories, or written by Asian authors, and so I do want to read those when I get them. And so that's pretty much all I have for you today. As of right now, I don't know what my next read is going to be. So it's going to be interesting for both you and me. But with that, I hope you're having a good one, and I will chat with you later. Hello. So, I have a little bit of a reading update for you, but it's not as big as I was hoping it was going to be. So, since I talked to you last, the only thing that I have finished have been volumes 4 and 5 of Tokyo Aliens by Naoe. These are published by Square Enix, manga rated older teen. We read volume 1 for the Monochrome Manga Club. I will pop the first impressions video up in the cards and down in the description box below in case you're interested in hearing what I thought of that first volume. But basically the tagline on this says, "Welcome to the sprawling metropolis of Tokyo, a top intergalactic tourist destination where the lives of Earthlings and aliens intertwine." So at the beginning of the series we follow a boy who's high school age and he's just minding his own business, coming back from Akihabara, I believe, and having a nice shopping spree there, just heading home, and he ends up getting kidnapped by an alien. Now, most people don't know that aliens exist with them on the planet currently, and so this is a big shock to him. He ends up getting rescued with the help of one of his classmates who turns out works for a secret government agency, and that secret government agency deals with conflicts between humans and aliens, or aliens behaving badly and things like that. And the boy that we meet ends up getting recruited by the agency and then finding out that his father had actually worked for the agency. So we follow him throughout this series, kind of learning about the different types of aliens, who might be around him that is an alien that he had no idea, going out on missions with his partner, and just kind of learning the ropes of being one of these special agents, as well as kind of unraveling what exactly had led to the death of his father. And so I really enjoy the series. It's definitely got a very action-heavy type of storyline because we do deal with conflicts, fighting scenes between the agents and the aliens, and there's definitely something kind of brewing in the background. Within the storyline where I'm at right now, there's a mysterious element about how exactly our character his father got killed in the line of duty and things like that. And so I really enjoyed these volumes. Unfortunately, these are the only 2 volumes I had left unread in my personal library, so I'm definitely going to have to go and purchase more volumes. I think there might be 9, out right now. I'm not sure because I stopped purchasing after I purchased these 2. But really enjoyed these series. Ended up giving both of these volumes 4 stars. Definitely will be continuing. I'm looking forward to following the adventures of our character and more alien fighting scenes and things like that. So yes, very, very interesting story so far. And that's everything that I've read since I talked to you last. I am in the middle of 2 other novels. I thought I would have been done with one of them by the time I came to talk to you today, but yesterday was really busy at work, and you know that I do listen to an audiobook during my lunch break, and because it was so busy, and I was actually helping to train somebody, the training ended up taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to, and then there was some technical difficulties in regards to that person's computer and how his programs were working. And so I ended up not taking my lunch break, therefore not listening to my audiobook, which I'm at the last portion. And so I will definitely have that to talk to you about in the next diary entry. But unfortunately, this is all I have read for this diary entry. So it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I started a series, I finished a series, and I continued with 2 series. So this is going to be another series spectacular. I think that's what I'm calling them. I guess I could pop in some video of me updating my spreadsheet if that's something you're interested in. I did that for my last series spectacular, so I don't know if that's going to be something that's really interesting to you, but if it is, let me know down in the comments. I will definitely strive to do spreadsheet updates when I do these types of series spectacular videos, if that's something that you're interested in, but I'm not going to do that for this particular video. We are going to continue, however, the tradition of opening up my advent calendars from last year, since I didn't do them at Christmas. So I have my yarn advent calendar first, as always. We are on packet 10. This is my yarn advent calendar from Stitchin' with Yarn. It is Charlie Brown Christmas themed advent calendar, and I've been really enjoying these mini skeins. I don't know if I mentioned to you, I think I might have, that Stitchin' with Yarn ended up actually doing a sock set yarn club that's Peanuts inspired for this year, 2026. And so I haven't bought all of the sock sets. So every month she has a new sock set that is inspired by a character, but I do pick and choose my characters. So I guess before we open this, I can show you what the latest sock set I purchased was, because it does kind of go with this, since this is also Peanuts inspired. Okay, so I just got these, I think earlier this week or last week, but I have been purchasing the sock set from her, and it's usually the colorway is inspired by a particular character. So for the month of April, the character was Linus, and so this is the sock set that I got. It's usually a variegated main skein, and then it comes with a tonal like mini, and so this particular one is pulling those turquoise colors. It does have a bit more green in the blue than is showing up on screen for me, but this is speckled with black, so it's a turquoise speckled with black. And then you've got the main skein, which has this like charcoal tonal, red, brown, black. Very, very pretty. And so it says Linus, April 2026. It's a sock fingering weight sock mini, 20 grams, 87 yards. It's 437 yards, 100 grams for the main skein. This is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And so I've been really enjoying the characters that I have picked up. There have been two, I believe, that I did not pick up. So I did not pick up Sally, which was a very heavily variegated skein that would have given multicolor micro stripes, I believe, if I had purchased it, but the colors were very, like, not really loud, because Sally is not color-wise very loud colors, like much more muted than, say, the Linus colors here. But for me, it wasn't really a color scheme that really connected me to Sally, nor is Sally a favorite character of mine. So I didn't pick up Sally, and I also didn't pick up May's colorway, which was Frida, which is a character that I'm not too familiar with. And the color scheme was, I believe it was a bit more purples, and purple is not my favorite color. And so I opted to skip on that one, but I'm very happy so far with the ones that I have picked up. The club started with the Snoopy colorway, which actually was very special because it came with two mini skeins. And so it was your typical like white, black, and red kind of variegation with a red and yellow mini skein. And so I really have been enjoying these so far. And usually, because I had picked up the collection that had the 2 mini skeins to start off the club, what I have been doing is supplementing a second mini skein just from what she has had in her catalog, or in her inventory. And so I try to pick something that's either really close to the one that comes with the sock set, or something that pulls a color that is in the main skein. And so for this one, I just went with this kind of plain, I don't think it's tonal at all, but this one is called Blue Raspberry, and I thought based on the picture that it would look very close to the turquoisey colors here, and it's actually an exact match. So it matches the mini skein here and these colors here. The only difference is it has no black in the tonal. And so I'm very happy with this, and very happy to be supporting a small business. And so yes, I've been very happy so far with the things that I've purchased from Stitchin' with Yarn. But now back to the advent calendar from last year. Her advent calendar for this year is actually Willy Wonka inspired. I had mentioned in my last diary entry that I did not purchase a yarn advent calendar this year, and I intend on sticking to that. And so yeah, I'm having fun like opening these packets throughout this year, which is kind of like a little treat, right, for ending my videos every time I have one of these. So it's been a very fun thing for me, and I'm kind of glad now that I didn't open my yarn advent calendar during Christmas time last year. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to what's in this particular packet. So this one is called My Own Dog Gone Commercial. Okay, so I would presume Snoopy, right? Ooh, that is very colorful. Like, I immediately think like Snoopy right here, right? And Woodstock right here. But it's also got some really nice blues in it with a little bit of green. And so, yeah, really interesting color. Very vibrant, especially in the yellows. Interesting. So that is My Own Dog Gone Commercial. Okay. We do have one more advent calendar open, so let me grab that one. Okay, we've got the Nido Advent. So I'm really kind of hoping for another small, like, stress ball type in this. So let's see. We've got number 10 this time. There's number 10. Ah, here's 10. It's about the right size for a stress ball. Let's see. Rainbow Bliss, not a stress ball. It's another one of these hollow, squishy, like charm type things. This one's actually really pretty. It does have more of like a holographic silver glitter inside there. Very squishy. There is air inside, but there is no like gel. So yeah, Rainbow Bliss. I'm gonna put that one back in there. Okay, so that is my Nido Advent, and that's pretty much all I have for today. I guess I could do a little bit of a chat. You may have noticed that I did go ahead and make a little bit of a change to my channel lineup. I have been really struggling lately with my videos not getting views. And I know this is something that a lot of creators are dealing with right now, that YouTube's made a lot of changes and things like that. Even really big creators are seeing dips in their view count. For me, my view count has dipped by more than 50%. And it's, for a small creator, it is rather discouraging. I do know that I've kind of been very stubborn about not playing into YouTube's algorithm game, and how, I'm so into so many different hobbies that I like to share or talk about on this channel, and that has been, I believe, to my detriment. The way the algorithm works is not in my favor, because I do feel like a lot of times people that view my book videos may not be interested in manga content. People that watch my manga videos may not be interested in my book content. People that watch my bi-weekly wax wrap-ups may not be interested in what I'm reading at all. And so every video hits differently. And I will say that for the most part, over the last couple of years, my most viewed videos are probably the bi-weekly wax wrap-ups and the manga hauls. Everything else has very low view counts, just in general. But then you cut those low view counts in half, and it's barely anything. And so I'm trying to now fall in line and play YouTube's game and see if maybe that will help me. I've just been very discouraged. And I don't know what else to do. I get lots of emails from people who say that they can, help me with my search engine optimization, and they send me screenshots from my videos, and they basically point out everything that I'm doing wrong, and it's not something that I welcome. In fact, I find it very rude for that type of email to show up in my inbox, because I get that you're trying to sell your business. Great. Do your thing, sell your business, but don't do that by basically putting somebody down while you're doing it. And it, to me, comes across like you're an idiot, kind of the way that they phrase things when they send me those emails. And I get a lot of them because I have been at this for over 10 years. It's like 10 and a half now. And I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I've struggled practically my entire time on YouTube to try to get subscribers. And while I haven't traditionally cared about my view counts or my subscriber counts, it's gotten to a point now where losing that extra day in my work week, or my weekend, I should say, when I went back to work 5 days a week, as opposed to having a 4-day work week and having 3 days off, losing that day of rest and relaxation has really kind of put where I am losing time into perspective. So by me losing that day of rest and relaxation, that basically means I don't really have a day of rest and relaxation anymore, because I work Monday through Friday, I film on Saturdays, and I edit on Sundays. And so that doesn't really leave me time to, rest, to live, to do something spontaneous if I want to do it. And I'm really kind of wondering if maybe all of this time that I'm putting into YouTube is maybe not worth it anymore. So I'm not giving up just yet. I am making changes to see if that will help motivate me to kind of continue, and hopefully by me making the changes that I'm making will help the algorithm start working in my favor and help get my view counts back up at least. But it's going to take probably a little bit of time to redirect all of the traffic to the different channel and things like that. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Just being very real with you about, the struggles that I've been feeling. And, I didn't realize how much not having that extra day of rest anymore was going to affect how I feel about coming on here and sharing my thoughts with you on things that I'm reading, things that I'm warming in my home fragrance. Even my knitting mojo has gone down the drain, and I'm just trying to find my happy again, I think. And I'm also like struggling a lot, finding books that I'm wanting to really continue on with in series, or books that I'm really enjoying. I've been struggling with that. Manga isn't ever an issue, and it doesn't take up a lot of my reading time. So I have been reading a lot more of that, but I enjoy reading manga. I always have. But I think I need to make some changes to hopefully kind of change my perspective about how I'm feeling right now, about the amount of work that I'm putting into my channel, and the payoff that I'm getting, as well as finding, or I guess not finding, but justifying the amount of time that I'm putting in to making content, because it's not as simple as me just coming on to the channel and sharing my thoughts with you. I do have to edit because I am not a very eloquent speaker. And so there's a lot of times where I'm sitting here trying to figure out if there's a better way to phrase something, or so sometimes the words just don't come out the way I want it to, or I'm having a day where I'm just not able to speak in full sentences, or it's just not coming out of my mouth the way that I want it to. And so I do have to edit quite a bit, but up until this point it hasn't really bothered me, because I knew that there'd be people there talking to me in the comments, and I'm getting people to at least watch my videos. I see the view counts, so even though people aren't saying anything, I know people are watching. But that has severely been cut since some recent changes have been going on with YouTube and what they're doing behind the scenes. So I'm trying to fix that, and the thing that I did was that I'm going to move my home fragrance content onto another channel. So my idea is that I'm still going to be able to show that home fragrance content if you are subscribed on this channel, my Disis19 Hearts channel, because I'm doing them as collaboration videos from the other channel. So the video itself, the bi-weekly wax wrap-ups primarily, will be housed on the new channel, which is Wax Pool Reflections, with a collaboration with this channel, Disis19 Hearts. And so while it won't be actually in my video feed here on my channel, if you go to the home tab on my channel, there is a section there that shows collaborations. That is where any collaboration videos I do with any of my other channels will show up. However, on your subscription feed, or I think even on your home feed, depending on how you find my videos as you're watching, it will show up there even if you're not subscribed to my other channels. So I would say that if you're only interested in a specific type of content, you probably don't want to be on this channel, because this channel is kind of my hub channel, and it will be primarily focused to books and manga, which is why I started this channel in the first place. And so, yeah, you'll still be able to see the collaboration videos here. I just won't be posting them here to try to drive the traffic in the correct way that YouTube wants the traffic to be driven. And so, yeah, it's hard. You know, it's not something that I know will actually work, but it's something that I'm going to try. And so that's kind of my long-winded explanation as to why I'm making some changes on this channel. And so I hope that it doesn't affect you too much. Like I said, if you're interested in what I'm reading, that will always be on this channel and housed primarily on this channel. And if you're interested in seeing things that I do as far as knitting or home fragrance, you will also be able to find those videos here, but not actually in my channel videos. You'll have to look at the collaborations, but they should also show up on your subscription page, your subscription feed, as well as your home screen when you're in YouTube. At least I believe that's how collaborations work. So that is my plan right now. So anything that is wax related will be on Wax Pool Reflections. That is the new channel collaborated with this channel, and anything that I do knitting wise will be collaborated with my Disis19 Yarny Updates channel, which is my knitting channel. The video will be housed there and collaborated here, so you'll still be able to see it if you're subscribed here. But I would say if you're only interested in knitting, you should subscribe there. If you're only interested in wax, you should subscribe to Wax Pool Reflections. But if you're here for books and manga chat, you should stay here. I think that's what YouTube wants, and I'm reluctantly falling in line. So I think that's pretty much all I have to share with you this week. I didn't want to leave this video on a downer, but it's been kind of a difficult thing to face for me. Work has been strange and difficult, and there's been lots of changes there as well. And it's just been, you know, one of those weeks, but this is real life, and we can't, unfortunately, have good weeks all the time. And so with that, I'm going to end this video here. Let me know down in the comments below if you've read anything that I've read. Have you read Dungeon Crawler Carl? And if so, did you enjoy it? And which version did you experience? Did you read it with your eyes, like a physical copy or a digital copy, or did you listen to it? And if you only read a physical or digital copy, do you think you might be interested in listening to the audiobook? I would highly suggest it. That is probably the most favoriteest thing that I read for this video. It was so much fun. The narration was great, and I highly recommend it. My daughter just got released the book too, so I should hopefully be getting to that sometime soon. But like I said, I am in the middle of a couple of things right now. But I'm really looking forward to continuing that adventure. And so, yeah, if you've read it, let me know what you thought. Are you interested in anything else that is kind of in that same genre? I think they're calling it Lit RPG. Do you have any recommendations for me? If so, leave them down in the comments below. And if nothing else, and you'd just like to let me know that you are here, if you could leave me a donut emoji or a cat emoji for Princess Donut. That would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out. And that will do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.